I've been eating this hibachi. Hibachi is loaded the up with sodium. Salt. I'm thirsty.
We can water fountain this. You can water fountain this.
I don't.
Pour it from like 5 inches above.
Into your mouth.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to clarify.
Not done.
You with this. You're very practiced.
Don't do it while you're laughing. That one.
I don't know how to do this. I feel like I'm just gonna like.
You want me to pour it for you? You hold him down. Get like a towel, like a hand towel.
Oh wait.
Put it over his mouth.
Get the surgery lights on.
In this episode of The Black Arrow, we're going to be waterboarding Max Levington.
Yes, sir! Finally! Oh my god, dude. We can't show this!
That just has to be the opening.
Put your
bit.
goddamn head back!
1 second.
Open up!
I gotta stop laughing. Yeah. Alright.
Oh my
Head
god.
back.
How are we gonna narrow it down to one opening bed? Oh my god! You forgot the thing! Swallow it!
Greetings, friends, family, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the table. This is Black Arrow, a sci-fi saga. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Connor Zeitlin. I have with me today and onward 4 player characters in the saga. My dear friends, Max Levington.
Hello.
John Freeman. Iggy Giddy. And Carter Foster.
Welcome to the family.
Are you okay? Holy crap.
Are we not going to comment on the suits, or is that just a thing that's...
On the what? On the what? What suits?
What
Yeah.
suits?
What suits?
What do you
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
We're not wearing suits.
No.
Ooh.
In fact,
You have to wake up. The accident wasn't your fault.
Yeah. The book in Max's
Alright,
eye
ready?
was not your fault.
Okay, here we go. Okay, last we left off, our crewmates had primed a warp to Barbaria. Using the jump codes of Captain Zendif Pelt of the Barbaria Pirates, whom they were to be captured by, but devised a clever, strategic, and incredibly well-executed plan that ended in them sailing away without any troubles and getting Zendif to open the warp gate. That's not what happened. In fact, it was an incredibly, incredibly difficult endeavor to get Zendif on board the ship, and now she seems to be in control of their operations for the time. You all pull out of warp. Barbaria looms in front of you, which is a collection of giant asteroids that all sort of assemble and are stasisly beamed together by a large collection of ships, mostly space whales, dreadnoughts, and large military vessels, all sort of collected into the shape of a weird skull that sort of looms in a colossal celestial size. You guys are floating through dead space for the moment. Your engines kick back on, and this is Barbaria Command. What is Hey guys, what are you doing? This is my seat. Get out of there. Hey.
Don't worry, trust me. I know what it's like when people get in your chair.
Goddamn murder! It sucks. It sucks so much.
I know, I mean, like, I got, like, so many bastards in this ship. They all seem to want a piece of my chair.
Hey,
It's
my
nice.
name's Zelf. What's yours?
I'm, Captain Vance Cloud.
Pilot.
Thank you.
All right, Vance Sword Cloud. You don't have permission to dock here. Who's the captain?
I am, by the...
Me, Zendif Pelt of the Barbaria Pirates. Oh, it's you, Zandy. Hey, how you doing? Well, just dandy.
Yep, Zandy and I were going on a little mutually beneficial, completely consensual mission right now that we all agree on. This.
Oh yeah, I get it. Totally understand. You guys want to be diverted to the luxury suite?
Actually, how about you set us?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
I was thinking we'd put ourselves down somewhere near the clone rehabilitation center, but
Yeah, okay, alright, I see there's some, yeah, I understand, okay. I don't understand, what do they want?
I'm sorry, do you need to, like, clear your throat or something? Is there something in there? I feel like, yeah.
No,
Whoa, Connor.
I'm all good.
Connor. What if you...
Dude! Oh my god. Hey, thanks for suggesting that.
Yeah, I knew there was something in there. There was something going up with your voice, so...
I really don't know what's going on. Where do you guys, what's your purpose?
What would be the closest docking center by the clone sanctuary?
Okay, yeah, you can head down to the Zurgarat. It's down by the it's close to the Clone Rehabilitation Center. I'll send him a message letting him know you'll be docking. What's the name of your ship?
That would be the Black Arrow.
Sounds good. Fuck. All right. Bye-bye.
I really like that funny man.
I liked his magic words.
I want to kidnap him and become our friend.
Add it to our collection.
Add it to our collection.
Another fine addition to my collection.
We aren't a murder hobos, we're kidnapping hobos.
So, Zendif Pellet goes, why are we going to the Clone Rehabilitation Center?
Well, we've got 5 clones here that want somewhere to hang out, I'm sure.
Yeah, right, I forgot about that.
We have 6 clones.
Oh.
Sit down, boy!
I like you even more now.
Yeah, and on the sets.
Okay, sure. You get a little coordinates, pop into that docking bay. It is its own ship, so you dock in the docking bay of a ship, and then you exit out into like a weird street, like somewhat half hodgepodge, just jury-rigged street that sort of spans in between 2 massive war vessels.
Mr. Ordclan, why are we here?
Well, we've got 5 friendly clones in the back here. I thought I might as well drop them off.
You see they all start skipping out in unison, doing Follow the Yellow Brick Road, and turn to look at you and nod.
Yeah, yes. You all go have fun back there.
I'm no expert in piracy, but
See-
I don't think that they're well renowned for their free social services that they provide out of the kindness of their heart. So please do explain to me how this is being paid for and for what altruistic purposes that this is being conducted.
It's less a home and more of a neighborhood where clones have decided to meet up and hang out. You see, nearly every clone in the galaxy is created by Caliphate Studios, and Caliphate Studios doesn't like free clones on the run, so every single one of them needs somewhere to hide out, and they generally go to the same place.
Though my concern is that these particular instances have something missing.
They're a little robotic.
They're not going to integrate well. They need to get jobs. They're content with living in a closet. Are we sure that we want to dispose of some very amiable, polite, respectful members of our crew and somehow not damn them into poverty along the way because they either A, will end up in servitude to some other group, or B, will end up on the streets?
Mr. Coney, they're not ours to keep.
What do you mean they're not ours? We can ask them a question. Vances, would you guys like to stay with this magnificent crew?
We live to serve.
Fantastic.
Objection, the question was leading.
Would you like to stay with
question
the
was
crew,
leading.
or would you like to go live on the streets?
We live to serve.
They need assisted living, and this neighborhood will not provide that. I think we
Surely there will be some local leaders you
there's
could talk
no
to.
social services here.
These clones are extremely close. They're like brothers.
There must be a local leader, someone who takes responsibility for services within the clone neighborhood.
Vance, would you know those people? Because you
I-
lived there for a time. Yeah.
I feel like I likely would.
Go ahead. Why don't you come up with some things?
Uh-oh. White boy has to do something creative. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
That's so.
That's how
God damn.
you.
Yeah, I think I could find you something like that. Why don't you come this way? You see that tower over there, made of like a bunch of Gregs piled on top of each other?
Yes. It seems awfully unstable.
Don't worry,
Where we have to go.
they're welded together. Don't worry, and each one kind of works as its own little residence. You know, it's a great system they have over here. Top of there's a Steven, slightly bigger than the Gregs. That's where the boss man lives. Well, the boss men.
The Steven is just a
Sounds
Greg,
like-
but it has like 2 Gregs sort of attached to either side of it.
So, Fermin, it seems like you're taking an interest here. Why don't we take these 5 clones, bring them to the top of that Greg tower over there, and then we'll, see if they would be willing to take care of them. If they have the eye of the Clone Council on them, would you be willing to see these friends of ours depart?
I mean, of what good would it be to have them here in this community when they're going to save the same function, except in a much more limited capacity without the watchful gaze of this crew?
Serve the same function? What are you implying when it comes to clones? Can we not do anything outside of that?
Gentlemen, what will you do whilst you are at this wonderful property?
We live to serve.
My point.
Coney, it's not our prerogative to say what these clones can and cannot do. The best course of action here is to deliver it to the to the Clone Council for their decision. They surely know better than us on this matter.
And what better fate will they have trapped on this system?
They will
our
be
care?
they would be able to access all of these social services.
There are no social services.
Coney.
It's a pirate haven.
Coney, have you heard of Wikipedia?
Who to what?
The great book of
Oh.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Exactly.
Wikipedia. Yes.
Wikipedia has no rules. There's no governance controlling it. And yet, it is the greatest source of information in the known world.
There is a degree of moderation, and this man,
As there is here.
Mr. Rosas, suggests that there are
There
social
is
services.
the pirate code.
There are no social
Of course.
services in the
Thank
pirate
you,
haven.
Mr. Clone.
They're not
Man.
altruistic bunches. They
Captain-
raid,
They are
kill,
more
they
likely to
steal.
die with us than they are
Gentlemen.
They'll be exploited.
Gentlemen.
We will speak with the Clone
Gentlemen.
Council.
Captain Pelt, you have lived on Barbaria for...
I'm sorry, no, I don't really want to be part of this. I just enjoy watching you all argue.
Captain Pelt,
Yes.
you are still our prisoner.
That's unwise considering
You
where
are
we
still-
essentially her back.
Gentlemen,
here. Well, you're their captain now.
you have lived on Barbaria for, I assume, many, many years. Do you think this is the best course of action, to leave these 5 clones under the eyes, of the Clone Council atop the Tower of Greg?
You really want me to be helpful in this matter?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be helpful. You're being stupid, Vance.
Am I?
These aren't clones of you. These are pieces of flesh that are programmed.
You could say the same thing about any human. What are our brains but thinky bits of computers?
Come on. You know better than this.
They may not be up
You aren't correct because they will die with you. But you are correct in showing some concern over their well-being. However, I can assure you, although you have a distrust of pirates, I have no clue where that comes from, and she pokes you in the cheek.
Can nanobots stop that from happening?
Yeah, sort of nanobots sort of push her finger away, and she keeps trying to go for it.
Yeah.
She's like, this is really entertaining. Anyway, the point is, they're going to be much better off here, much safer, and you can't really deny that. We have a code.
Me and Vance are going to take the clones to the Clone Council. You do what you wish.
I would let the Clone Council decide what to do with them. If they decide to put him back on your guys' shoulders, whatever. If they decide to keep him, they decide to keep him.
Thank you, Captain Pelt. Your help has been great, even if it may not have come under the nicest of circumstances.
Oh, I really don't care about you, but
Now,
as
I
much as-
believe a certain person owes you a couple of punches to this.
Oh no.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten about that. And the fact that you remembered is just so nice. Just fantastic. You lean forward.
Of course.
She says, I want you to see what I'm going to do to Vance first. And then you'll be really, really you'll know what's coming.
As you're talking, I'm quickly trying to change clothes with one of the Vances.
Vance is a personal buddy, and I.
Are you gonna shave
grab
your
him
head
and
as
I-
well?
No! No, let me down!
Thank
Put
you
me
so
down!
much.
Put me down!
Oh my god!
This is not a practiced punch. This is not like a box. This is not a clean hit. This is a knuckle cracking, jaw dislocating, just genuine brute force rage slap with her bare knuckles. And you see she swings, follows through. You are like, it is hard for you to like stabilize him as the force throws you back. And she just, that feels good.
I'd like to reach down and click his jaw back into place.
Yeah, you just click his jaw.
You're
back
okay,
into
buddy.
place.
Okay,
Oh,
Connor.
Most unpleasant.
While this was happening,
Me or me?
while this was happening, Fermin has noted what was about to happen, has cast a silent image of himself, and has left to begin shepherding the Vances towards the Greg Tower. I can
Oh, without me. Without me.
I thought you traded 2 punches on him for you not getting punched.
Oh wait, you did.
I pick Vance up again, and I hold him out. Here you go.
And 1 punch on me as well.
Yes, I remember that.
No. I'll let you wait for a second. Come over here.
Alright, here, what's gonna happen is I'm going to literally just like, as she punches me, the nanobots are just gonna come over my face, so she punches solid metal and breaks her hand.
Right, she's gonna make an attack roll against your AC.
You're boned, bro. That's not gonna work, bro.
She has a +6. That's a 15 plus 6.
That's.
Bro spoke too soon.
Total.
Bro spoke too soon.
Just crack. The nanobot's like she was sort of expecting it based on her little poking earlier. So she's like, all right, listen, here's how it's gonna. Bam! Smashes you across the face. You like bloody nose. You're just like, oh. Now you have to hold the bridge of your nose in place. And she's like, oh, that was nice.
So
While Zandy is messing around with what's it called?
The others.
Oh, we're not gonna have a
With the
reaction.
others,
It's not worth it.
I'm going to
Not
be
worth
trying to head out with Mr. Rosas. I still have the keys to the Black Arrow. I'm going to lock that thing up because I do not trust Zandy.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and stealth out the back with the clones and Mr. Roses.
If only we had sentinels that we could put up to make sure the ship wasn't stolen.
They're
Issue
coming with
settled.
us.
Here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and roll a perception check. I'm going to need the
Stealth?
Vances to roll stealth.
All of them?
Yup. No, just one. Just one stealth check for the lot of them. And Fermin roll stealth and Vance roll stealth.
Okay, I think I'm good with that.
We're looking at a delightful 25.
25.
19 total.
19 total. What about your... Whose stealth check is that?
That's mine. Vance's, what do they get? Same as me?
+3.
+3?
Yep.
So I'm so much cooler than them. They also get 19 total.
Damn.
I expected them to fail that. They did not. You see, she's like really like sort of getting. She's trying to fake you out.
I'm made of like glowy magma stuff. I'm kind of worried your fist is gonna just get.
His nanobots did not help, dude. I would not be so cocky.
No, I'm not worried about it blocking it. I'm worried about like it absorbing her hand. You know, like
It doesn't matter. She like shoves her hand straight into your collarbone, into your cheekbone. You just get an intense pain behind your eye, and you like fall backwards as this punch hits you. She like has done this too many times. Yes.
Is he like falling on his back or
Yeah,
something?
you ended up falling on your ass. Like
I'm
it's
gonna
bad.
go walk up to you and I'm just like gonna look down at like this big man who's like down there. I'm gonna outstretch my hand. I'm like, not so fun, is it?
hits really hard.
Yeah.
I know.
She hits
I
really
know.
hard. Mateo,
Mateo, goes,
help!
Are you gonna let David Coney let you up?
Oh,
And
Connor, Louise, is he here?
Yeah. He actually goes with you guys.
I was about to ask if he could
Yeah.
come.
That works,
with.
yes.
You remember Vance and Fermin, your missions here.
Of course. This
The
is just...
clones are important, yes, but you all are here for your various reasons.
It's a side matter to settle first. We don't want these... I'm sure with this highly secretive mission, you don't want 5 of these buggers hanging around
Yes,
with
this
us.
highly secretive mission that you are talking about very openly.
Well, no one's listening. This is Barbaria. Everyone only cares about their own lives. No one's listening to us here. Trust me.
Which should really fills me with the confidence that people are going to listen to our pleas.
Trust me. We don't want these 5 clones hanging about while we're trying to do whatever you wanted me to do. 'Cause
Uncle Louise, trust me, there is no one better at being heard than Fermin Rosas.
I know.
He's loud.
And so is my suit. Hey, blue and orange, baby.
I know, my boy. I will tell you, provide aid when I can. Let us go.
To the Tower of Greg.
Yes.
I'd like to speak to Mateo.
Yes.
Right, so we've agreed that I'm going to be working with them to bring down Caliphate, which will inevitably protect Guinea. It's easier for me to be protecting than to just kill everybody who comes on the planet, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Right. So, Mateo, what do you suggest I do right now?
Well, I would go with your friend
charming
Coney there.
individual.
Okay.
I would go with him because he's going to some people who are allied with a number of legionnaires that are operating here on Barbaria.
Okay.
You can gather support from them, and if they can help possibly sway the opinion. I know those two are going to be trying to get support against Caliphate as well. You see, he points over to the group of agents walking off. We have to do things a little bit more under the radar than they do. So,
Right.
talk to
like
David
the
Coney,
Joker.
figure out where he's going. I think he's going to meet the faction called the Merrymakers.
Okay.
They're brutal.
Coney, what do you know about the...
Hey, Coney, let me fix your nose.
I'm alright, I appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Nanobots just like cover my nose and it's like you hear a crack and then it's right back.
That's nice. Okay, that's dope as hell.
Coney, what do you know about the Merrymakers?
Merrymakers.
Magna Delvir squad.
Indeed. I know quite a lot. What intrigues you?
Apparently they have some information in exposing Caliphate, and that seems to be both of our interests.
That seems fairly accurate.
Magna Delvir and the Merrymakers are revanchists, which means they are
Danish, right?
Danish. Yeah, Magna's Danish, but the faction is comprised of a number of people from many different nationalities. But their goal is to eradicate corporate powers. You were part of this organization you were part of this group for a while, but then once you sort of like customized Junior, you began to work on the planetary project, and you've been sort of using the companies as a tool as well, which Magna Delvir never forgave you for. So you had a falling out.
I feel like me and this guy could get along.
Oh no, you would not.
We'll talk. We'll have some.
We're already gone.
I have Yeah, you are already gone. Doesn't matter. David.
Well, funny that you should say that. I usually wouldn't invite someone to tag along, but seeing as last time I tried to go in on my own, it went rather poorly, I'll have you tag along. In fact, I'm going to go see Magna Delvir.
Are you? Yeah.
Presently.
It'd be great if I could tag along, and I will provide all of the support. I mean, you're Steel Defender, and my little Spectre thing, we defend each other quite well.
Very well. Well, let's get on move on, old man. Let's get those legs moving.
Mateo goes, I'm tagging along. Hope you don't mind.
Mateo, I'm not that old.
I don't think we've met yet.
I'm actually quite young.
Mateo Castillo.
I'm puzzled as to whether or not I should touch the molten hand that is.
Oh, don't worry. You're. It's all right. It won't burn you.
It's like just a weird sensation. Feels like I just touched putty, you know, like
Yeah,
I'm
a little bit, like really warm putty, but like it leaves you completely dry.
I'm like curious.
Yeah, it's pretty weird when your heart beats stabilizing it.
So, what is your relationship with him? Are you his ward or?
No. Although
I mean,
I'm sure he thought so once upon a time. But
I have a higher rank than you.
yeah, we were comrades in the Battle of Ginnengat. I died. He ate me to survive.
It was necessary.
Charming.
It was.
Yet another list in the wonderful extravagance and adventures of Enzo Ray's actual catalog for eternity. Well,
Oh, you haven't heard of it? There's that one family of five. Oh.
You ate a family of five?
No, I didn't eat the family of five. Jesus.
What did you do to the family of five?
I killed all of them.
Why?
that's not much better, is it?
It was worth like a bagillion credits, okay?
It was worth a lot of
You
credit.
killed a
Lots of
family
credit.
of five for money.
Yes.
That's terrible.
How justifying
How
that, bro?
am I the one who wants to literally create some sort of robot dystopia? One of the least morally reprehensible individuals in this entire.
Hey, I felt.
Hey, what did I
better.
do? What did I do?
That's it.
I felt guilty while doing it. To
Vance's-
be fair.
David Coney, in your ear, your earpiece gets hacked again, and you hear, "You're coming home, David Coney."
I'm waiting for the homecoming. Maybe we should bring out some firecrackers, celebrate, get some food on the Barbie, something along those lines, or we can just get right to business and make this less painful for both of us.
I wouldn't say painful. I would say it'll be educational.
For you and me both. I'll
You
see
need to
you.
learn some lessons, David Coney. We'll meet you in an hour.
What location?
I'll have your associate know. You instantly hear heartbeat coming from across the city, like a
Okay.
half an hour walk away.
So piecing together the half of the conversation that I heard from you, and Heartbeat, does that have something to do with the Merrymakers?
What?
Oh,
you should listen to him.
there's some sort of calling over there.
I'm assuming it's a beacon of sorts.
I didn't know that. Mateo, I didn't know that we worked with the Merrymakers.
Yeah, we do.
Man, what else have you been getting up to while I was gone?
A lot of things, Enzo. I don't know. You're not being around to help.
You could
Giving God.
have came in for me sooner. I was running for 10 years.
You were running.
For
It's
10
hard to
years.
find you.
You couldn't connect to my web. That's actually.
I had to connect you to.
Actually, when Caliphate finally found me, they sent someone with the same scar after me.
What? Hunter, right? We
Yeah.
talked about this in our.
Right, Hunter. Do you want me to kill him at some point?
We will,
Great.
but right now we have to focus on
Pony.
getting the Merrymakers on our side.
That way, and I point directly towards the heartbeat.
Yep.
Which happens to span 12-mile gap. So I go, actually that way around that bridge, turn right at the second intersection, and then that way.
All right.
Not a GPS, but
No.
Walking
not.
next to Enzo, I kind of feel short, so I just have the nanobots make a artificial leg extension, so I'm
Yeah.
at his
Trip.
eye, at his eye level,
Okay.
oh, those are cool.
You guys move through these sort of slums of Barbaria, taking a turn, going down underneath this gargantuan spaceship that's weapons underneath its hull have all been powered off. And so you just sort of have hanging lights from these giant turrets that sort of illuminate this under metropolis, if you will. That's not a word, but it sort of gives that feeling. Back in the light, back in the starlight, I should say, the distant nebula light of Iberia, shining towards you. You two climb the spire of Greg, or not spire, but the.
Can I
the-
ask
the
you
tower of
actually
Greg.
about the journey there?
Sure.
What was the neighborhood like?
Oh, you guys walked 2 blocks down. It is effectively 2 blocks because it's not really a city block sort of thing. It's ships stacked on top of each other. So there's an intersection where there's not a ship and there's just space.
Cool.
And weird either stasis bridges or magnetic coil bridges or strange ways to sort of transport people across little jumps of space. So there'll be an artificial gravity destabilizer where you can, instead of where there's a gap, and you can just jump across the gap 20 feet across and just float through it and then come out on the other side, just walk normally. So you do that a couple times, and then you come you keep crossing these spaceships as you go further in from the outskirts, from the surface of the moon, shall we say. You start to get more and more glommed structures as you get closer to the actual stone asteroid of Barbaria. It is sort of, you go from inside to out, poorest to most well off. And again, we're talking pirate terminology, so there's not a huge class gap.
Just the most
Barbaria.
successful versus the...
Yes, the most successful plunderers versus the least.
Okay, and then it'd be... So all the clones are in the Greg structure.
Most of them are.
Okay.
That's like, if you can imagine sort of the Greg...
I kind of think of it. Have you watched Ready Player One?
Yeah.
No, that's exactly
stacks.
what
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacks.
It's the
Yeah.
stacks.
It's going to be pretty difficult to get together a crowd then if everyone's in this tower.
Oh, well, I was about to say, you guys passed before you reach the, sort of, how best to put this? The mass of Gregs, the inhabitancy, the main inhabitancy of most of the clones here. Although a lot of clones do own other ships that have been strapped to the side of Barbaria as well.
Oh, so is it like less of a spire and more of like a pile?
Yes.
Like a heap of
Yes.
Greg? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then, before you reach that, you cross through a plaza that is made up of like a ship that has been sort of split into a bunch of different pieces of metal that have all been shaped and stabbed into a bunch of rock around it, sort of creating a hanging plaza out of an old mining vessel that's quite boxish. So that is it's been refurbished with like crazy multicolored fire lighting and awesome sort of music is constantly playing there. Clones are walking around in every which way. You notice a couple of different Vance ward clouds, but mainly other types of clones, and they all sort of turn nod towards you. None of them know you by number, but you have the Vance Ord Cloud group is known to be pretty successful pirates.
They know his face.
Yeah. That was kind of funny, wasn't really that funny. Okay.
Like you're really trying to milk that for more than it's
So-
worth.
You guys get, is there any character, any dialogue happening while you guys are doing this?
I think
I'm sure Fermin would be asking me questions about the clone
Yeah.
environment.
exactly. Okay. Yes. Vance, the clones here are they all pirates or do they just live here?
The vast majority are just on the run from Caliphates, and well, there's not too many places that Caliphate doesn't know the coordinates of.
How are the living conditions?
Range from poor to worse, but there's some good scenarios. There's the occasional pirate clone that is able to do some plundering, and generally they try and share it with their brothers.
Sounds like a real community.
It is. It's a nice spot. I spent a year or two living here a while back, but space calls.
What brought you here?
Well, same as the rest of them, but eventually I just got bored.
And I kind of look around, and I see that this is they made a good living for themselves here. This is an impressive community, but
Incredibly tight net.
it just has this air of this is it, right? This is as good as it gets.
And it should be able to get better.
Yep.
There's very little upward mobility for a clone.
I see. This is kind of the end of the road.
Yes. The best of the best clones, the most they can hope to achieve is the High Council of Clones, and that's where we're headed right now. High literally, we've got about 400 Gregs to climb.
Is there an elevator?
There's a ladder, I think. I think it I think it's rusty, and there's like a 4% mortality rate when you climb it.
Okay.
But I think
Fermin pulls out his grapple gun.
I pull out my grapple gun.
Yes, sir! Grapple buddies, let's go, damn you!
Yes, sir. Luis Alonso pulls out his grappling.
Yes, sir!
We each grab a clone or two. Grapple them.
Zendif catches up to you guys. Where do you think you're all going? I'm coming with you. Let's go.
Oh, Captain Perth, what brings you with us?
Vance, neglects to share that I'm a longtime supporter of all of the clones on Barbaria.
Oh, how good
In
of you.
fact, 10% of my plunder goes to them.
Vance did neglect to mention that. I wonder why.
Because I threatened to cut his balls off and shove them down his throat, and then cut his windpipe before he had the chance to swallow.
I told you they use that one quite frequently. I'm talking to what's it called, Fermin's uncle there.
I remember you saying that to me exactly in those words. And she says, "Oh yeah, you were the one who thought you could get me to just go to battle for you." And he was like, "I see that is what happened, but that's not exactly how it." Yep, that's what you did. That's exactly what you did. Why is he here?
He's, he's,
Hold on. You two are. There's
Lovers.
connection here. No, there's connection here. Brother?
Louise is my uncle.
Uncle.
And my longtime caretaker. He's like a father to me.
That's cute.
I mean, is it? I don't know.
I don't regret threatening your uncle.
I don't regret it either.
Louise looks at you like, "Oh, okay."
You're here on... Anyways, whatever. It sounds like my uncle was not very convincing.
We can have this talk while we're climbing the Gregs. You guys are having this talk while you're climbing the Gregs, of course.
We are grappling up the Gregs. What
Yeah.
Fermin is doing is he grapples onto a rung. He grabs onto it and then he grapples up the Gregs again.
I'm doing a combination of grapple, using it to get momentum, rocket boot to be able to grapple the next thing, grapple, pull,
that's
rocket
fucking
boot, grapple, pull, rocket boot.
Zendif is just climbing as fast as you are.
And the clones?
And the clones are all sort of like, she's got one on her back. You each sort of have one. Some of the clones are just climbing quickly. Yeah, one of them, Zendi's got one on her back, and then one tied to a rope that's tied around her waist that she's just like sheathing, like she's carrying probably like 600 pounds of.
These clothes are 300 pounds each.
No, she's included in that, and all of her gear and all of their gear. So 600 pounds. Yeah. You all reach the top, which is not a very impressive structure, but it is a bigger Greg. It's just 3 Gregs sandwiched together. There's 2 sleeping quarters with like 4 bunks in there each, and then a large round table in the center with a sort of ladder coming down up into it. Not a ladder, but a little staircase. And you guys reach the top of the structure. There's a little platform that the ship is resting on.
That's just
Elevator
stupid, right?
shaft to the left.
Is the clone council in council right now, or are they
in
there?
session.
Nope.
In session. Yes.
You don't hear any. You hear some mild scuffling coming from inside. Nothing. No one's talking. They just seem
Is
to
there a
sort of be
door to knock on?
mumbling. You can just walk in, and it's not a taboo thing to just walk in.
Fermin just kind of brushes himself off and waltzes in that case.
Sure. I don't think you would know that. I think you would be like, "Do we knock?" And then Vance just walks in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think I should go first. There, you won't be a huge fan of a non-clone telling them what to do.
Fair. And you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuttering. I don't know.
You immediately
I met these people more like their predecessors on the council.
Yep.
I don't know them pretty well. I'm still kind of nervous around them because they're, I kind of look up to them somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
As I look around the table and the people speaking, there's one representative from every what's it called?
Every sort of clone.
Every cloned
Yeah.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's hundreds of people that have been cloned, but these are just like, the people that were cloned in bulk by Caliphate.
Yeah.
There's probably about
12 of them. No, there's
about, what was that?
There's
I was in like 2 dozen, but
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, most of them aren't going to be as much of an authority.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all generally older clones just because they've been around longer. Though, of course, old for a clone is probably like, less than 30 years. Just because, they don't want... There's a lot of growth hormone in there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I walk up to the table and I'm like, Anyone wanna?
Oh, hey.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I recognize most of their faces, but none of them by number.
Yep.
Wait, if they're all representatives, is there a representative for the Vance, or are you that
There-
representative?
There will be a Vance representative there,
Okay.
but I mean, I probably saw like 8 Vances on the way here.
Is there a head counselor?
No. You see this woman, clone of a strain, like basically she went insane under not Caliphate Studios, but under Modern United Mining Control, and she like killed a bunch of people and then killed herself, and so they took her dead corpse and cloned it, and they're like,
Seems
"This
like
is so
the-
tragic. Look at these people. Look at these people." Like,
It seems like the prime person to be multiplied 1,000-fold.
exactly. They're not technically known to be very stable individuals, but you know, she looks at you and says, "Oh hey, Vance."
Yes, I am Captain Vance Ortcloud, number 2703.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Who are these folks?
Good to meet you. I am Fermin Rosas.
You're not a clone.
No, I am not.
I will attest to his intelligence as much as I will attest to his pompousness.
Pompousness.
I'm looking for a better word. I gotta find a better
You're
word.
quite a smart man then.
I get around. I'm in the business of helping people.
Oh, that's lovely.
Cool.
Why are you here? Oh, that's why you're here.
Yes,
You see the Vance guy who's like currently like biting into like a big sandwich. Brothers.
sup?
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
Pop it, Hambone. Awesome.
So, yes, I trying to like nudge forward
You see
the.
they all like
Yes,
all of the clones sort of look somewhat scared of that.
yes, it seems like some element of the Lazarus Initiative was rebooted in a sense. Yes.
They're all silent, staring directly at you. What proof do you have of this?
Oh, really? I would have assumed some of you would know about this.
No.
Nobody? Well, I was looting a Caliphate ship some time back, and I found a holding cell full
Zendif Pelt goes, 3 days ago?
Has it been 3 days?
3 days.
Jesus.
something like that, yeah. Anyways, we found many tubes of these down in the basement. These are just 5. I'm sure. How many do you have on your ship, Zandy?
Oh, the other 15.
15? I'm surprised you've kept all 15 alive this long. If I'm
I mean,
completely
they've been
honest.
incredibly helpful.
I see. Anyways, these 5, I found them on the Caliphate. I was mostly just, looking to see if you had room for another home here. I know you don't like. I know they aren't really familiar with this whole thing. I think something's off about them, but I'm sure that with enough time around some of their, their relatives, I'm sure that they'll find their own here.
These Vances have not acted like any clones I've ever met. They demonstrate no will of their own. They follow every order given to them.
So they're not clones, they're robots.
They were
It's-
made in the same way as any other clone, but it seems like they have been robbed of their will.
Purely biological, if that's what you mean.
They've been programmed to not have free will.
We didn't know where else to take them. We thought that you, being the foremost experts on clones in the galaxy, would be the best.
That's
thing to do.
generous. We really don't do anything super fancy. We're not experts in anything. You see this sort of guy, like mechanic clone, like a famous spaceship mechanic during the war, sort of steps forward. Big, pompous gentleman with a red beard and a bald head with a sideways baseball cap, and just says, I mean, we're not experts in any of this, but we are certainly, the right people to bring these poor souls to, so.
I'm glad we did so.
Yeah, thank you, Vance. This is important.
Thank you. And I recognize this as a clone of Reggie Coleman.
Yeah, Reggie Coleman.
Reggie
Yeah.
Coleman, yes.
Listen, we've all had Caliphate Studios do some to us. Are you all right?
Oh, of course, I'm fine. I just, I don't got. If I'm completely honest, I don't got room on my ship for 5 clones. Zandy, I'm sure you don't want 15 running about on yours. So
Xander goes, I mean, I wasn't complaining, but if it's right to bring them back, bring them all here, we'll bring them all here. You see, this is the side of Zendif Pelt that, you remember as why you still keep her as an acquaintance. Because she's genuinely a good person.
So the killing, the looting, and the destruction.
When she
And the
wants
breaking
to be.
Vance's heart.
I was
And-
going to
and
say,
the abusing of her
when she
crew.
wants to be a good person, she
Yes.
delivers.
which is once on a blue moon.
She did just break your jaw, like,
And my heart.
5 minutes ago. So, I mean, I can bring them all here, if y'all want that, but, I mean, I'm totally fine to have them helping on my ship. I think that, frankly, they'll be better off with me, although there's some danger in that. You see all the Clone Council members recognize that. Vance, these are your brothers. Would you like if you have any special asks for them?
Mostly, I want to see if what attempts could be made to rehabilitate them. I know they're not completely functional up in here, but I'm sure that with some exposure to fellow clones, something can be figured out.
We can try to find. I mean, Barbaria isn't known for its great scientific minds, but we could try to figure something out.
I appreciate it.
All right. You see, they all sort of are ready to bring these clones in, but none of them want to give these clones orders because they're afraid of how they'll react.
I like to try something.
Yep.
I go up to the clones. And like, hey, how y'all doing? What's that thing you keep saying all the time?
We live to serve.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all just go.
Yeah, so who specifically do you live to serve? Like, do you have anything in there that's specific, or can I program you to take orders from certain people, or how does that all work?
We are imprinted onto those who release us from cryostasis.
Interesting. So, idea. You all counsel. Is there any way
Yes.
for them to be in cryostasis and then release themselves from cryostasis so that they serve themselves?
I mean, we could try to figure out a way that happens. I'm not sure that's necessarily possible, but we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I feel like that might be your best course of action, because they live to serve. Why don't they live to serve themselves like any other person on this planet?
Good point. Let's
It's
go.
good to know that these gentlemen are in good hands, in any case.
Fantastic. All right.
One psychological worry about that is that if they live to serve themselves entirely, they'd completely disregard any sort of social contract.
It's probably better than,
I live
And
in
then
half
they'll be
before.
in no better place to do so.
Yep, fair enough.
They'd be identical to every other thing
person.
on Barbaria.
Yeah.
Like,
We cut to the under metropolis of Barbaria.
The Undercity?
The Undercity, so to speak.
Underworld.
Sort of creaking and shifting spaceship structures bound together by gravitational stabilizers and just welded into each other, and you guys cross steel rope bridges and strange things to get where you're going. The beating heart gets louder and louder until it stops, and you all are face to face with an elevator. But it's not one of those elevators that open. It's not one of those elevators that is silent and oiled and whatnot. This elevator looks like it's made up of a bunch of parts that were grabbed from a blown up spaceship.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna ask, how loud is your heartbeat right now?
Gone. So
I guess that means we're here. You've arrived at your destination.
Yeah.
Well, before we go up there, I have a couple of things to note, specifically since you're coming along with me.
mm-hmm.
Do not pull the threatening demeanor out if he says something that you won't like, because he will, most likely. Not lose your SHIT.
He did seem to try and piss you off on that call.
Indeed, and he'll do the same to you because, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't been invited, and Magna is a man of tradition. So, you are a representation of me whilst you're here. And don't do anything stupid.
Understood.
Mateo goes,
I am going to.
He's right.
Yes. I am going to rage.
Okay. You sort of start to steam, and you feel like pumping through your veins, just sort of this bubbling force of change.
Can I
Okay, that's
detect that
different.
he's doing this? Like, I roll perception.
You sort of see the.
No,
air
I let you
around
know.
him
I let you know.
starts to-
I'm going to rage.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, that's different. Mateo, that's normal?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and my sword.
Not yet.
Okay.
Combat.
Right. Right. So yeah, I go into rage.
You. So that'll be on for the next minute or so. Extended into.
Okay, and I mean I have 3 charges. I'll just maintain the rage until.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll go. Cody, don't worry. This doesn't affect my mental state. It's.
I beg to differ, but we will see.
The elevator brings you sort of up into an asteroid in itself that's been hollowed out and has in it a sort of city within a city. This one is incredibly hot. You feel it like you're sort of inside the caldera of a volcano. This place is the rock in the inside has sort of has been hollowed out, but there's also ports that have been carved out of the rock that in rooms have been carved out of the rock as well, and sort of the tower control of this place is sort of nestled in a sort of like a uvula looking rock structure that comes from the top. The ports that have been carved out are currently filled with a number of different battleships that are fully operational and not connected to Barbaria in any way. They are sort of they're sort of all. There's a lot of scuffling, a lot of activity going on, and as you guys sort of emerge from the elevator onto a little rock platform that starts to spiral up the outside of this, for lack of a better term, gargantuan hangar bay, a loudspeaker goes off. Let us all welcome David Coney back home! And you just hear a lot of booing.
It seems like it. Yeah, I shout back. Seems like you could have done better for the place with all the years you've spent working.
Oh, David Coney. You realize he just told you not to fire back at
Yeah,
this
I was
guy.
like, Cody. It's okay.
Yeah, and I like...
That was bold of you, David Coney.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I really did miss it.
I'm glad you missed it. Why don't you come,
I love how he ignores my sarcasm.
I'm glad you missed it. Why don't you come give me, why don't you come give your old,
Come
friend
give me a kiss on my
hug?
mouth.
Magna. I reach out like my arm, like this, like sort of
You
like...
see he, appears in, sort of like he does a teleport and appears in front of you. He's wearing, a military trench coat that is just sort of full of circuitry, really weird. It's made entirely out of nanobots, and on it, sort of his face appears protruding from it out of nanobots 100 different times, and they all sort of his faces sort of swim around inside the trench coat, and he looks over at
He's a
you.
narcissist.
Yeah.
I say that very quietly.
Yeah, all right, he doesn't hear it. Welcome home, my friend. He gives you a big hug.
Yeah.
He does. You go to like give him a handshake. He just embraces you. I am sorry for what has happened to you.
Don't worry about it.
Before you leave, which I hope you don't, but if you do decide to leave before you do so, we'll have to get you a new pal.
Really? Well, I mean, homecoming gift, I guess.
So to speak.
I guess, I should give you a gift in return then.
What would you have for me?
My manservant, Enzo Reyes.
You see,
Doctor.
Mateo goes, whoa, okay.
Not a manservant.
He's not for sale. He's ours. You see,
I didn't actually mean to sound. I don't know.
you see, Magna goes, oh yes, your supposed Yama Levada of some kind.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have a number of people waiting for you.
Oh, I've heard. Yes. I sense it. The heartbeats.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That's so cute. He is a man of destiny, I see.
As are you not?
Of course. I can recognize others of my status. Like you once were. And what you will become again. Let us go! I know a lot of people around here are somewhat distasteful to your presence, but I am willing to forgive. Out of pity.
And I'm willing to forget.
Never. He just turns around, coat sort of like billows behind him, not because of any movement he made, but just because it does.
He purposefully billows it.
So you are all sort of transported. Sort of a little hover pad comes down, docks next to you. You guys step onto it. Are flown out to another part of this Merrymaker town, and where a bunch of sort of screens. You pass a bunch of screens. Down with the corporations, death to the companies, sort of just this incredible hatred of everything corporate is just surrounds you. As Magna, we've made quite the name for ourselves, David Coney. Barbaria respects us.
I see. Your handiwork is that? And I point at all the signs.
Oh, I am also the head of the marketing division. I'm the head of everything, but the marketing division is...
Marketing, a very corporate concept.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you're about a hair's breadth away from becoming a corporation yourself, aren't you?
Marketing, branding,
That is-
expansion.
Don't fire back, David Coney.
I get to do this.
That is dangerous of you to say.
Yeah.
But sometimes the enemy's tools must be used against them. And
My
in this
thoughts
case...
exactly.
Oh. My thoughts exactly. He sort of alternates when he's speaking. He sort of alternates speaking himself and then the faces on his jacket speaking in his stead. Instead of having a junior who talks back to him, he's just become one with his AI self.
Yeah.
And all of this is possible because of you, David Coney. Which is why I'm willing to welcome you back. So. Food refreshments?
I wouldn't say no.
Let's go. Back to you guys. Where do you two head?
I actually wanted to exchange a word with the counselors first.
Alone with them in the room?
I don't. If anyone else is there, I don't mind. But I definitely wanted to speak to them. Oh, how do I address these people? Is there a polite
Counselors.
Thank you. Counselors.
Yes.
I wanted to express my how impressed I am with the community you've carved out here.
Why?
Well, in a galaxy so hostile to your kind, you've built this coexisting community. You've built this sanctuary. I mean, it is really, it shows tenacity. That's impressive.
Pirates don't care, so we can pretend like we don't either.
What's the next step?
What do you mean?
Well, what's the course of action?
Does action need to be taken? We are here, are we not?
But what of your brothers still suffering?
They'll find their way here, like your friend, Vance.
I don't know if they will. I've seen many more clones in servitude than I have seen not so.
I think today has changed that.
Well, I've been all across the galaxy,
Yes.
and everywhere I've seen clones in servitude. Now, Thunderhawks don't keep clones in servitude.
Sure, certainly they
It's
don't.
against their democratic principles.
Yeah.
They believe in clone personhood, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Counselors, I don't know if you recognized my uniform, but and I pull out my badge at this point. Yeah, something funny.
Badge. You're not a law enforcement officer.
We have badges. I'm kind
You're
of
a terrorist. If a Taliban
I'm not,
man
I'm not a terrorist.
He
A
is.
vigilante.
If Batman
He's
came
part
up
of
to
it.
me and showed me I'm Batman badge, that doesn't mean he has any authority.
Okay, it doesn't
You
matter.
okay? Is Batman a terrorist?
Sort
Alright.
of.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he is.
Moving on. So, at this point, I pull out my badge, and I say, I work for an organization called Thunderhawks. I don't know if that rings familiar.
Nope.
Thunderhawks is an organization devoted to the development of democracy and equality and the destruction of corporate rule throughout the galaxy. What's so funny, Carter, huh?
The badge. I hate the badge.
Okay, shut the f up. We can't have that part with Carter going in the f***ing background. So get your f***ing act together, boy.
Okay, I was.
I'm Fermin, the National Socialist. I have authority.
We're not talking about
Whatever.
this
Okay.
right now.
So I work for an organization called Thunderhawks. They're devoted to the development of democracy and the destruction of corporate rule throughout the galaxy.
Okay.
And of late, we have taken action in the Iberian sister systems.
Okay.
I've been
Late indeed, but sure.
we've had to set up meetings, many people try and bring about change with a blunt instrument, but I am a spy. I'm precise, I'm careful, and
And you're a liar.
a liar.
All spies are liars.
Well,
You see one of them sort of stays the man who's just said that. Just let him. I don't instantly call him a liar. I mean, like
who's the man who just said that?
the bald guy with the big bushy red beard and the baseball cap.
Reggie.
Could I do
Reggie.
I wouldn't know anything about this guy, right?
No,
Okay, so a history check isn't worth.
no, it's not worth it.
Cool.
You might know the person that they are a clone of.
Yeah, it wouldn't help though. So I kind of yes, lying is sometimes necessary, but we lie to our enemies, and in this council, in this community, I do not see an enemy. Councillors, you have languished underneath the monarchist and corporate rule over the sister systems for a long time. You have built this community. As impressive as it is, I think it would be better to live free.
Yeah, you think we haven't tried that?
You have not tried it before with the backing of Thunderhawks.
Wow, that's a lot of pride coming from one organization.
We are a big deal. Carter, can we
that's
keep our f***ing in our pants?
Or big deal? Come
They
on.
are! You could be lying about that, dude. We trust you.
I appreciate that. I understand that trust is not so easy for people who have been on the run for their whole lives. But what if you didn't have to run anymore? This is amazing what you've built, but it is ultimately the end of the road. I see a future. I see a future in which your humanness, your personhood is recognized.
That's a lovely, lovely thought. But until every clone in this facility here thinks that they'd love to go back into the world where they were scorned, then in order to prove themselves human when they can just be human here, then I don't...
You want the support of every clone? I might not be able to get every one of them, but I can get 90, 95%.
That's a bold claim.
Give me an hour.
You see the guy with the pin, with the hat and the bushy beard goes, "You're on!"
Yes, sir!
You see the rest of the council goes, "Oh, this is a bad idea." But they all sort of seem partial to you.
Okay.
Like, that's sort of adorable that this guy really believes this.
Counselors, would you do me the grace of following me back to the... what was the big shopping center in the old abandoned mining ship called?
Oh, the plaza, it's just, I don't know what... Someone come up with a funny plaza name.
Plaza to Plaza.
I like Plaza to Plaza.
Plaza to Plaza. It's growing on me.
It's right, yeah, okay. The
Like
plaza
clone
to
the
plaza.
word plaza.
So you were saying,
Yes.
what were you going to say about the plaza?
Counselors, would you do me the grace of following me back to the... what was that plaza called? The shopping center in the old mining ship?
Oh, the plaza to plaza.
Yes, to the Plaza de Plaza.
Yes.
Um,
We won't follow you, but we'll be watching.
maybe send a representative.
Okay.
That's bearded fellow. He seems...
I mean, I'm always down to keep him to his word.
Alright, I dap him up.
You see, it is the crispest, just...
Yes, sir! No roll needed, yes!
No roll needed, just the most beautiful thing ever. And he's just like... I kinda hope you prove me wrong. You see the rest of the council sort of all...
I have every intention to, sir.
I can see that. You depart. He follows you. Zendif goes... Sort of gives you like a... looks at you, sort of pulls you aside as you guys are walking. What are you thinking?
I'm unsure on the matter.
You want to know what I'm thinking?
Yes?
Give me the keys.
Don't have them.
What do you mean you don't have them?
Left them in the ship.
You left them in the ship.
Yeah.
Did you lock the ship? You locked the goddamn ship, man!
Anna's in the ship. Anna can let us back in when we need to.
I'll put a gun on his head is what I'll do.
No!
You don't want me to do that.
Ignore it. Nope. No. Don't worry about it. The keys are in the ship. You can get when you get to the ship. You can just tap on the glass. I'm sure they'll let you in.
Our deal was to hand over the keys to the ship when we got to Barbaria.
I want you to look at me and tell me you aren't somewhat interested in what my friend here is trying to cook up.
Hey,
I will.
Captain
cook.
Pelt, let me cook.
I am
need
not.
to cook, Zendif.
I am not even.
to cook.
I am not even somewhat interested in what your friend is trying to cook up here. That's a complete lie. I
And-
want to see this play.
And yet, yeah, and yes. Otherwise, why would you climb up 1,300 meters of Greg's?
It's fun. I'm a sick motherfucker, Vance.
That's fair. That's fair.
Are you gonna give me that ship?
After we settle the whole clone beeswax or whatever this man's trying to figure out, I will give you the keys and you can go on your merry way. But that's a tomorrow issue, okay? That's not a now issue. That's a later issue. We're pirates, Sandy. We figure things out one step at a time, and that'll be a later step down the road. Does that work for you?
Give me a deception check.
Wow. You should find a fake set of keys,
Bro.
right, and give them to her.
He basically just admitted to not intending to do it.
Just like how many buckets must I kick down the road? +5 for deception.
Yep.
What was that?
12 total.
Oh no. This is not gonna.
Oh no.
Roll again.
What?
She tied you.
16 total.
How is that even possible?
I am so good at this game.
Natural 1?
No, she rolled a 2. She has a -1 to insight.
Why are they so bad at insight?
Because you've been. How do you think you've been able to just pull a fast one
I
on them
thought-
every fucking time?
I thought I was really good at this.
She's like me. She's kind of gullible.
She's
Yes,
really
dude.
gullible.
That's why she fell for you in the first place.
Holy shit. You see, she goes, tomorrow problem. Which means a problem for tomorrow. Which means tomorrow I will have the black arrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. It could be this afternoon for all we know. It's just a later problem. It could be tomorrow. Could be could be this afternoon. Could be a year from now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's so funny, Vance. Let's keep walking.
Don't you mean climbing?
No, you guys have gotten.
Ooh, finally.
You guys have gotten down, and you were waiting for them to descend. You just rocket booted down as she just slid down the side.
So while they're sliding down, I'm just laying back with my rocket boots, having a conversation,
Yeah.
slowly descending.
And then you guys hit the street, and you're sort of waiting for them all to catch up. And they come close enough where she goes, "Let's keep walking." Louise says, "Damn, that was some good work in there."
Well, it's it's my passion. I'm kind of proud to be, obviously me and my uncle are kind of at odds at the moment, but I'm proud to be complimented by him because he was always kind of an inspiration for me growing up. I knew nothing about his age and stuff, obviously, but I was just always impressed by his demeanor and strength, and so to have him compliment me, it's gratifying. What about those two, though? Lovers' quarrel?
I think definitely history. I think there was, at one point, the schism. Some outside force intervened, and they were drawn apart.
No schism cannot be healed.
I want keep your hands off my schism.
I am so invested in this.
I think that there is... Time heals many wounds, Fermin. You know this. I hope that time can heal... What are you doing?
Remember the Chad face? What is this?
Fermin, what is this?
This is my face.
You guys head towards the plaza, and we are back sort of in a salon, coffee house that also doubles as a explosive laboratory that Magna sort of calls his sitting room. Says, "Welcome to the sitting room." There's a bunch of homemade bombs across the wall and sitting next to espresso machines.
Charming.
Espresso. Did I say espresso?
Yes.
I meant espresso. All right. Come, sit down. Have a drink. You see, he waves his hand towards the espresso machines, and they all start cooking up little batches. You won't burn holes in my couches, I don't think.
I will not.
Good. If you do, I'll have your head.
I don't think an entire planet would be very happy about that.
Yeah, Mateo goes, "Yeah, don't do that, boss." And he goes, "Aptly put." At this point, a representative from the Legionnaires comes in. Similarly, Molten holds a spear, a spring-loaded pike in their hand. Looks at you and goes,
Hi.
"Mateo, is this the one?"
I feel like
What do you feel like?
The one. Whoa.
How do you feel? is this good? Is this okay?
He's the chosen one. Somebody
chosen
has
one.
to
I
do it.
choose you.
This is a bit of an upgrade from kind of psychopathic doctor, but you know.
Well, you have my allegiance. My life is yours to command.
Well, you two cozy up to each other. Let's get down to business, Magna.
Yes, down to business indeed. And he has his mocha, and he sits down sort of a little too close to you, and sort of sips it.
I'd like to taste Coney's drink first. I have poison immunity.
How do you have poison immunity?
Why would I try to poison an old friend?
I want to taste Coney's drink first.
That's stupid. Trust me, it's delicious. Cheers!
Sláinte.
To business.
And then I collapse and die.
Rocks fall and you die.
Make
Is
me
it
a
poisonous or
constitution
not?
save. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Wait. What if it was really strong coffee?
Yeah, it's very strong. In fact, your eyes sort of perk open like they haven't in a while. Yeah, I know it's good stuff made here in Barbaria.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a greenhouse actually. David Coney, what happened?
Well, it seems that Caliphate Studios happened. As you know, after we parted ways, I decided to run my own operation.
In
Rather
conjunction with the very things we swore to destroy.
As you say, tools. I mean, do not accuse me of hypocrisy when we sit in a crib of your own making, essentially.
This point can be argued back and forth.
It
Not
can.
worth that time.
It can. Well, what happened was, I came to cahoots with these gentlemen after agreeing to go to a tech convention. Ram the Fjord was present. He spoke with me, acquired the secrets to some of my...
Ramna Fjord, who is that?
That
You
is...
sort of remember now that Ram the Fjord wasn't part of the Merrymakers. Ram the Fjord, yes, right. Ram the Fjord was a schoolmate of yours before you met Magna.
Yeah. A margin in disguise as Ram the Fjord was... Ram Fjord was an old friend of mine. Took the secrets to some of my technology, my stabilizing and nanotech technology.
You mean our technology?
Precisely, which makes this our problem.
A problem that you started. And I assume that they destroyed the Spire.
No, all too well. No. With that, my AI was... I don't even know what's happened to it. And as such, I'm left somewhat in the dark. I have plans for reconquest, however, they are somewhat delayed. I find myself short on force and short on the will to get my hands dirty.
It will take time to cook up another AI. You'll need to relinquish control of your nanobots for the time. So, shall we prepare?
Prepare. Yes.
For your consciousness to be downloaded again.
Yes, I guess we shall.
Alright, let's do it. You see he sort of like rubs his hands together and goes...
I remember how sucky the last experience was.
Yeah, it's
How
not...
sucky.
It's not pleasant.
No, no. Think of the expectation when you're like 3 years old, going to the doctors and you have to get a shot. That's sort of like that terror.
It's that terror. You you sort of like what's going on, right? David Coney, you see a doorway just open. He goes, the doorway opens behind you guys into a like sterile lab room.
And I'm gonna say,
This is
Enzo.
if you'll just come this way.
Well, I'll see you in a bit.
Stay alive, Coney. I can't bring back the dead.
Staying alive, staying alive.
There's a good chance he stays alive. He was done it before.
Yeah. For first time's the worst time. Second time, I'm assuming it'll be better.
I don't know. I haven't tried it the second time.
And with that,
And with that, you walk into this room, the bright lights flash, and we're gonna end this episode right here.
Yep. Oh my god.
what time is first rock tonight?
9 o'clock.
You didn't check your email?